Hello, and welcome to another episode of Messy Magic. I'm your host, Nadee Guy, and I hope you're having a beautiful day. This episode is the third one in my podcast series, all about the crossover between embodiment and business, which I'm really excited about. The first episode was why there's a crossover between embodiment and business. And the second episode last week was about how embodiment can support business and how you can infuse embodiment principles into your business to support you and create a business that feels beautiful. Today's episode is one I feel really aligned with at the moment and really inspired to talk about. We're going to be exploring why building an embodied business is a revolutionary act. I hope it inspires women who maybe are already in business and doing things the way they've learned, and women who are at the start of their business journey and want to be intentional from the outset about what kind of business they create and the energy that it creates in the world. I also think that this episode is supportive of women who are not in business and help them to think critically about the kind of world that they want to create in the way that they want to create it. So before I get into the episode, I have an announcement for the woman who wants to draw in more dream clients while feeling lit up by her business and in complete alignment with her offer. So if your business requires you to create a sales page for your offer, your program, your course, or your service, then there's a few things you need to know. Firstly, templates are great. Believe me, I love a good template or, process to follow, but they only get you part the way there. They only tell you the framework to follow. They don't necessarily, at least in my experience, give you the tools to tap into your wisdom and the permission to really dig into what's true for you and what you know to be right. So templates are supportive, but they're not everything. Secondly, you don't have to follow every technique that you've been taught or learned. There's lots of effective tactics for sales pages, but they don't always seem right to you, and that's okay. I think if you're looking for strategies and tactics for anything in life, but I'm talking specifically about sales pages, there are so many things that you can learn and lots of resources, but it's not always something that's going to feel right to you. And I think it's really important to understand what that is and that that's okay. Thirdly, and relating to that, you can create a sales page that feels good in your body, knowing it will feel good in your client's body. So that's about creating copy that resonates, that when you write it, when you read it, it just feels good. And that's something it's really hard to put words around, but you just get this feeling. It's this knowing that it's good. And that it has a resonance that is right for you and for your clients. And you can do that. That is available. And also, finally, your sales page is a service to the world, because your service, your program, your offer, your course, whatever it is needed, and it deserves to get into the hands of the people whose lives will be changed because of it. And your sales page is part of getting it into their hands. So that's one of the reasons I'm so excited about this, what I'm about to tell you about. As you might know, I've been a copywriter for many years, which means basically that I write copy. I write words for landing pages, emails, websites, content. And I've also studied online business for a lot of years, and I've picked up a lot of strategies. When I completed my training in feminine embodiment coaching through the School of Embodied Arts in 2023, I began looking at things a bit differently and just holding the things that I'd learned up to the light and applying my own body's wisdom to them. And one of the things that I've discovered is that your wisdom, my wisdom, your wisdom, it runs deep. And applying it to every area of life can be so powerful. So if you can take the wisdom that you already have, but that you might not be aware of, because sometimes it's there and we don't know that it's there because we don't know to go looking for it. If you can take that and combine it with the writing tactics, the copywriting tactics that align with your beliefs and values, while also staying true to your deepest, most authentic truth, you can create an incredibly powerful sales page that attracts more of your dream clients and fills your business with clients and sales that feel deeply satisfying. Now, I have developed this new framework to help you do exactly this, with an intentional balance of feminine and masculine approaches. Together, we will craft the copy, the words, for your new sales page in a way that feels potent and resonant. Drawing on principles of both feminine embodiment and conversion copywriting, which is the methodology that I've learned and is designed to create sales, frankly, then this framework is designed to support you, the creator, to feel into the heart of your offer, clear away anything that's in your way, connect with the resonance of your client, and articulate exactly what they need to hear in order to decide whether it's right for them. Through this framework, not only will you walk away with your page written, but your nervous system will be supported through the process with embodiment coaching sessions and tools to allow your creativity to flourish. It includes one-to-one embodiment coaching plus frameworks to guide you, as well as access to my professional feedback and support as a copywriter. And since this is brand new, I'm looking for just 3 women business owners to walk through this framework with me at a really special price. So you can get in touch with me at nadiguy.co/magnetic. I'll put that link in the show notes, where you can check out the details and book an informal chat with me. And for the first 3 women to apply, I'm offering this framework, this whole process, at half the price that I plan to sell it for. So be sure to apply before the end of June 2024 or be one of the first 3 to take up the offer. I don't plan to be offering it at half off again. So if it sounds like something you're interested in, and if you would like to create a sales page using feminine embodiment coaching and support, as well as proven conversion copywriting techniques, I really urge you to check it out, and I cannot wait to share it with you. Okay, so enough about this offer, which I don't know if you can tell, but I'm really excited about it. It's actually a perfect intro to this episode about embodiment plus business being a revolution, because it's a totally new way of creating a sales page, what I've just walked you through. As far as I can tell, I don't see anyone else offering this style of support for women business owners, but I deeply believe that it's desired. And frankly, I think it's needed in our world. So let's talk about why building an embodied business is a revolution. So I want to start by acknowledging that it's hard to stay embodied today in marketing and business. Our culture, generally, like generalizing, values productivity and progress, which are both very masculine traits. They're necessary and good. Productivity and progress are necessary and good, but they're not the whole picture when it comes to wellness and living a fulfilling life. Many of us receive praise and reward for productivity and progress, but not necessarily for slowing down, honoring your body, considering the earth in your practices. And these are all much more feminine, embodied concepts. So it's hard in today's world. And also because it takes intention and this consistency in revisiting what's important to you and making sure that that's infused into your actions and your beliefs when it comes to your business. But I'll also pause here and say, this is why I said at the start that I think this episode is relevant beyond just business, because you could apply this to, parenting. You could apply this to your corporate job, to how you show up in friendships. There's kind of different ways I think you could apply these kind of ideas and challenges that I'm talking about. And this is also why it's a revolution. It's going against the norm. It's going against expectations and maybe against what seems like the right thing to do on the surface, because we've all been taught, it's been demonstrated to us that like productivity and progress as examples are right. That's what we need to be aiming for. So you, me, we've all been conditioned to be productive, which means you feel like you have to be active, moving forward, making progress, like getting the most out of your time. But sometimes this is counter to what your body wants, what you desire, or maybe about what your wisdom is about what you really need to do. So this is one of the ways I think that embodiment and business are a revolution, because productivity is not necessarily the whole story. And it's not like being aligned with your truth, being in touch with your body, and knowing how to tap into your wisdom are all things that you can bring into your business, but don't necessarily lead to the traditional kind of idea of productivity. Also, there are so many examples and experts and people to follow when it comes to business, and it makes sense. Like, we want to follow a leader. We want to walk out the steps that have been proven before us. We want to follow a process. Like I said at the start, I'm absolutely all for templates and processes to follow. But in doing that, we can actually smother our own wisdom and the way that we want to do things. So I think it's fine to find examples, find experts to listen to, and follow processes that have been proven before we arrived, before we came along. Someone else was doing this, and it's completely fine to look to those examples and to follow along. But I think there also comes a point where we need to take a step back from those things and look inward and look at, what do I want? What feels good to me? What do I think is going to work? And that's actually what I've been playing with the sales page offer that I talked about at the start of this episode. That framework is a result of me looking at what I've learned and what I've picked up and what my experience is and what the experts say and what I'm still learning. Honestly, like I'm still learning all the time from people who are experts, but also then taking a step out of that, turning inward and questioning, like, what do I think is the right thing? What feels good in my body? What do I think will resonate with the people that I want to work with? And that offer is a result of that process. Another reason that embodiment and business is a revolution is that honoring your body is likely not something that you've been taught, much less see as a vital part of building your business. This one is, we are taught to look after our body, to be healthy, to stay fit, to get enough sleep, drink enough water, all of those things. I'm not talking about those things. I'm talking about tapping into your internal world, what is true to you. And sometimes that might present to you as a thought, or maybe it's an emotion, maybe it's an energy, a feeling. These are all ways that your body expresses. And those things aren't always, or I think rarely actually, connected with business. But I think it's a real opportunity for us to learn how to honor our body and all different facets of our body and bring those into our business in ways that feel good. Another way that embodiment in business is a revolution is that sometimes what we need is not more time, because I think that's something that is a common perception. Like we need more time to create the things that we want to create. But I think sometimes what we need is not more time, but better fuel. And this was actually inspired by an email that I received yesterday from Jenna Ward, who is the creator of the School of Embodied Arts. And she talks about building creative projects with less time than she's ever had before. And it's not the fact that she needs more time, but the fact that she needs better fuel. So what do your mind and body and spirit need? What fuel do you need to bring more energy and inspiration to your business? And being embodied brings you closer to a genuinely helpful answer and follow-up action that's valuable. So maybe for your business to go to the next level, what you need is not more productivity or outputs, but better fuel and nourishment so that you feel inspired and ignited to take things to a new level. And when you feel inspired and ignited, then by default, you start finding the time. You just make it happen. You start to find the time, the energy, and the inspiration to do the things that your business needs in order to go to that next level. So I think that's a really powerful one. Another reason embodiment in business is a revolution is that the traditional working hours, the 9 to 5, is so ingrained in us. And I noticed this yesterday. I had a day to work on my business yesterday, and I headed out to go for a walk in nature because I knew that my body was craving that. I needed some nature to feel inspired. And as it happened, I ended up taking my laptop with me and I sat on the beach to do some work. And it was it was incredible. I had a really beautiful day, and I know that's a privilege to be able to do that. But I knew that's what I needed, and so that's what I gave myself. But on the way there, I noticed this niggling, I think it was like 9:30 or something when I left home. And I noticed this thought in the back of my mind, like, I'm late, I'm running late. And I stopped and I was like, what is that about? Like, I actually feel like I need to be sitting at a desk at 9 a.m. to be working, to be like doing valid work, or to be doing business right. And it's completely ambiguous, unnecessary, and it's another way that we get to create revolution. Because by questioning that and by saying, no, actually, that doesn't align with what I need and how I'm creating my business, by working on our terms and in ways that honor our needs, while also honoring the needs of the business, we get to create the success that feels good to us. And it's not just about doing what we want. Like, it's not just about me taking my laptop to the beach and doing what I feel like, but it's about doing what we feel we need while also knowing what's important for building that successful business. So I was really intentional about the actions that I took while I was there. It's not just about doing what you want to do. It's also about using your time in a really potent way. But coming back to the previous point, I think having the fuel and the internal nourishment to know what you need then allows you to be more potent in the time that you have. And on the point of building a successful business, what even is a successful business? This is another way that I think embodiment and business is creating revolution, because conditioning will tell you what's expected is a certain level of income, which might be 6 figures, for example, which seems to be the common thing that so many people talk about, reaching 6 figures. It might tell you that status and acknowledgement from peers is success. Maybe it's freedom to live a lifestyle of your choice. And these are all things that we're told mean that you're successful. Maybe it's like finding investors for your business. But what if those things aren't actually success to you? So creating an embodied business is a revolution because it's about doing what's successful, whatever success means, for you. And by nurturing your embodiment practices and skills, because it's an ongoing journey. Like, I don't think anyone's ever like fully embodied. It's like a spectrum. By nurturing those practices and skills, you get to understand more deeply what success means to you and what you want to get out of your beautiful life. And so you then get to create a business that reflects that. So I hope this has inspired you to think about how embodied businesses are creating a revolution. It's a new way of doing things, but I believe it's incredibly powerful. And the more we dig into it, the more potent it will be. I'm all about a rising tide. I love this analogy. And I really think that feminine and embodied business leaders are raising the tide so that everyone else is lifted as well. And I want to be a part of that world. So this brings us to the end of the episode. Don't forget about my special offer to take my new embodied sales writing coaching framework for half of the price that I intend to sell it for. Again, you'll find the details over at nadiguy.co/magnetic, where you can also book a quick chat with me to see if it feels like a fit for you and the next sales page you need to write for your offer. I'm so excited to bring this into the world. And the special price is for the first 3 women to book, or until the end of June 2024, whichever comes first. So with that, I'll be with you again next week. And in the meantime, I hope you have a magical day.